Okay, hi everyone. Today we will be covering the topic of compound interest. So, previously we did simple interest. Now, what is the difference between simple interest and compound interest? Simple interest is when you invest a particular amount of money for a particular amount of period and your interest is gained after the end of the particular period. So if you invest $5,000 at a rate of, let's say, 5% for 3 years, you work out how much interest you would receive at the end of that entire period. Now, compound interest is when we invest money, the amount invested in is called the principal, just like from simple interest. The principal achieves an interest, and the interest is payable and reinvested on the previous principal. So if we have $5,000 and it's being invested at a rate of 5% for 3 years, what is happening is at the end of each year, you receive an interest, it is reapplied or reinvested to your principal, and then you work it out again for the second year. Whatever interest you receive, you reapply it to your previous principal, which is your last principal, and then you go again for the third year, and whatever interest you receive, you reapply it now to your previous principal. So what it is, your interest is compounding on your principal each time at the end of the year. So it is accumulated at the end. So this is our formula to work out compound interest. A is your amount accruing, meaning the amount accumulating after each year. P is your principal, which is your initial investment. 1 is just part of the formula, plus R is your rate, over 100, all raised to the power of n, where n is your number of years. So let's go through two examples on compound interest. Calculate the compound interest earned and the amount accruing when $10,000 is invested at 8% per annum for 3 years. So we know that our simple interest formula is PRT over 100. However, they did not ask for simple interest. They asked for compound interest, and our compound interest formula is P1 plus R over 100 all raised to n. Right? So this is the formula we will be using. So therefore, we say A is equal to, what's P? Which one is our principal? So we read through the question. $10,000 is invested. So that's our principal. 1 plus R is our rate, which is 8 over 100, all raised to the number of years, which is 3. So we grab our calculators and we work this out. 1 plus 8 over 100 would be 0.08, all raised to 3, which would now be 10,000 by 1.08 raised to 3, which would be 10,000 multiplied by 1.2260 because we're rounding it. And when we multiply this out, which is 12,600. So this is our amount after the period for 3 years. compared to when we work out simple interest, all we would have is the interest, and we will need to add it back to the principal. We don't do this here because this is our total amount accruing after the 3 years. So we would have seen that it's $12,600 when we invested $10,000. So that means if we subtract the difference, we would have made $2,600 in interest, because that's how much more we have compared to how much we invested. Right, so let's do another question. Calculate the compound interest on investing $600 for 2 years at 7% per annum. So we start with our formula. P 1 plus R over 100 over N. A, what's P? We invested $600, so 6, whatever we invest, that's our principal. 1 plus our rate is 7 over 100 for 2 years. So we take our time and we work this out. 1 plus 0.072, 600, 1.07 squared, 600 by 1.07 squared, 1.1449, and I would hope that you guys are doing it on your calculator as well to get practice and make sure your numbers are correct, which would be 686.94. Right? Again, we started off with $600 and we ended up with 686.94. So we have about $86.94 from interest. So now we will be moving on to the topic of depreciation. It's not that different from appreciation or compounded interest. It's the same formula, as you can see, just it's minus instead. So with depreciation, when you think about depreciation, you think about something losing its value. And what type of items lose their values? It's stuff that requires technology and vehicles and those type of things, right? So as the year goes by and newer versions come out, the item that you have will decrease in value, right? So most working people own assets, for example, laptops and cars, which depreciate in value due to deterioration, right? In general. Therefore, as time go by, the cost decreases. So instead of you receiving more after the end of 3 years, like in compound interest, you will have to pay less when 3 years go by. So if you buy a vehicle for $75,000, in 3 years time, when they do the depreciation, it would cost less than 75, maybe 55, according to how much it depreciates by, according to what percent. And so if we do an example, let's get into an example. But firstly, the formula is A is equal to principal, open brackets, 1 minus R over 100, close brackets, to the power of N. A, P, R, amount, P, principal, R. But in this case, the A will be known as the book value after N years. So let's get into an example. Okay, so we have an example. A Mazda bought at $27,000 depreciates at 5% per annum. What is the value after 3 years? So remember, the value is depreciating, not appreciating. So we're going to use the minus formula. So we already have the formula here. Now we can substitute it. So A would be equal to P, which is principal, which is 27,000, open brackets, 1 minus the rate would be 5 over 100 raised to the power of 3, which would be 27,000. 1 minus 0.5 cubed, 27,000 by 0.95 cubed, 27,000 by 0.857, rounded to 3 decimal places, multiply by 27,000. So the amount would be 23139. So $23,139 would be the book value for this Mazda. That was 25,000 after 3 years. This is what it would be worth.